Welcome back to another episode of Baseball in the Bible. I am Riker Dotson. I'm here with my father, Ryan Dotson, and we're back with another one.
We're back. Happy to be back. Yeah, everything good?
Everything's going good.
Okay. We're here. Got a lot to cover. We're going to jump right into the World Baseball Classic.
Absolutely.
Get into that, but nothing to report on the local level. Got a week off this week. And so just putting in the work, trying to get practice in around rain season and do all that stuff, but nothing to report there, just continuing to work. So that's happening, and then we're going to get into, like I said, we got the World Baseball Classic. We're going to talk through that. So as we're recording this today, there's a lot that's happened.
Yes, there has.
In the World Baseball Classic. Again, kicked off last week, and we went through those pools and talked about the different scenarios. And games have been off to a good start. We've got a couple jerseys here representing some of the things that have been happening in the World Baseball Classic.
Sure.
And some of the things that we're hoping that happen today as we talk. So at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just put these slides up here. We'll talk about Pool A and Pool B, where we're at there. So Pool A is, you can see Canada and Puerto Rico both 3-1. And due to the tiebreaker, Canada beat Puerto Rico in a game as we're recording this. They beat them last night. And so it's Canada won Pool A. So Canada is moving on in Pool A. First time they've ever.
Yeah, I was about to say that's record.
Yeah, first time they've ever made it to the quarterfinals. So that's pretty awesome for them. And Team Puerto Rico, again, the Fighting Yadier Molinas is their manager. They are coming up in their B. I guess they're the second place finisher in Pool A. So they'll be playing the winner of Pool B. Is how the bracket works out. So you've got Canada and Puerto Rico. Again, Canada making it for the first time ever to the quarterfinals. Cuba, who they beat to get into the quarterfinals, is the first time they've actually never made it to the quarterfinals. Wow. So since the Classic started in 2006, they've always made it out of the pool play, but this time they didn't. And we watched that game. Again, we're recording this. On the day we're recording this, they just played. And so we watched that game, and I would just say if you want to watch
some,
I don't even know, like a comedy of errors, but just like the sixth inning of that game was unbelievable.
The top of the sixth, yeah.
Well, the top of the sixth is when Canada was batting. Cuba made a ton of mistakes, and then the bottom of the sixth, Cuba had a chance to come back, and then it just. I mean, the defensive miscues, it just unraveled for Cuba.
I mean, absolutely. It looks like rec ball.
Well, it's just, again, it shows that these are professional guys. They're not all major leaguers, but they're all professional baseball players. And Cuba, I mean, baseball is king, you know, and so these guys are taking it serious. It's, you know, but it just shows, and we've experienced this. No matter what age you are, things can, you know, one little simple mistake. So if you watch that sixth inning, I'd say go back and watch it because it's a lot of teachable moments in there, right? Because you see one pop up to the second baseman, easy pop up on the infield, and he just drops it. That's the first batter of the inning. You think no harm, no foul, but it just unravels from there. Where it should have been one out, nobody on. Before the inning's over, they've given up 3 runs, and now they're down 5-1. And again, it just never, you know, the bottom of that inning, they had a chance to maybe get back into it, had the bases loaded, ended up only getting 1 run. And then again, throughout the rest of the game, just some bad errors for Cuba. And it cost them. And so Cuba's out and Canada's in. If you look at Pool B, this is the one we care about, really.
Yep.
This is why I'm wearing, this is my Cardinals Salute to Service hoodie with my American flag. We've got Wainwright's Salute to Service jersey over my shoulder. And we've got Mike Piazza here representing Italy because we need Italy's help today as we're watching this. So as we're recording this, we don't right now. Italy and Mexico are playing.
We're playing right now.
So
we need Italy to.
Well, there's a couple scenarios. So if you look, so Italy last night beat the U.S. in a very ugly game. U.S. was down 8-0. Just again, it can happen. They've played to this point. At this point, they were 3-0, and they've been playing very well. Pitching's been great. Hitting's been good. They had left a lot of guys on base. They weren't knocking in as many runs, but they were still scoring a lot of runs. But I mean, they were playing well, and they're 3-0. You're thinking no problem. They had just beaten Mexico in a really, really good game. They beat Mexico 5-3, competitive game with Paul Skeens on the bump starting that game.
Yep.
And then you go into this game against Italy, who has a lot of, major leaguers on the team, but no big superstars. So you think, they're a good team. They were 3-0 too, and so or 2-0. They were 2-0 at the time, and anyway, before you knew it, they were down 8-0. U.S. kind of rallied a little bit and then lost 8-6. It does matter because of all the tiebreaker scenarios. So.
Right.
As we stand right now, Italy is 3-0, and
we are
3-1. We're done with pool play as far as games go. So it comes down to this. So Mexico is 2-1. They lost to the U.S. So if Mexico wins, then you have Mexico, U.S., and Italy all 3-1. And again, as we're talking about this, when this airs on Sunday, obviously you guys will know what happened, but we don't know what happened at this point. So we're hoping for U.S. getting in, but. We need either Italy to win outright, so there's the Piazza jersey, or we need Mexico to win. But it's crazy if they win and if they score 4 runs or less, then Mexico and Italy advance. If they score 5 runs or more, then the U.S. and Mexico advance. Okay. So we need if Mexico wins, we need them to score a lot of runs. Or we need Italy to win, basically, for the U.S. to go on. And again, it stinks because they'll be looked at as a disappointment, and they've played well. They just had one bad game, but that's sports. That's sports.
So, like, if Italy wins, but Mexico also has a high-scoring game, does that matter?
Doesn't matter. If Italy wins, then Mexico finishes 2-2. U.S. moves on. So if Italy wins, they would win the pool. They would play. Puerto Rico, and we would play Canada, which would be kind of fun. I don't know the Mexico thing. If Mexico wins and the U.S. and Mexico move on, I don't know yet who becomes the winner of the pool and who's the runner-up. So I don't know that. I just know if Italy wins tonight, then they win the pool. But if Mexico wins, which I would honestly I would expect. I kind of think Mexico will win, but it's just now we just need them to score a lot of runs. So. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, as you're watching this, as this airs, you already know what happens, and hopefully U.S. is still in it and playing in the quarterfinals. I mean, by the time Sunday comes around with this, the quarterfinals would have already started, and we'll be moving on to the semis. And
long story short, we're behind. So.
Or ahead, however you want to look at it. As we're talking. So that's your team. That's your Pool A and Pool B. Pool C and Pool D, a lot of great baseball being played there. In Pool C, Japan's 4-0. They moved on. We have the Ohtani jersey because, in case you guys don't know this, Ohtani's good at baseball, and the whole Japan team is.
Oh, really?
But his stats have been insane. He's already crushing the ball. I got an ESPN alert on their first game of the tournament. And I actually didn't look up what his final stats were, but I just got an alert that he was a triple shy away from the cycle, and it was the second inning.
Wait, what's the cycle?
That's when you get a cycle is if you get a single, double, triple, and a home run all in the same game.
Oh my gosh!
So that's a cycle.
That's
so
insane.
It's a cool thing, but to be a triple away in the second inning, to have already had 3 at bats.
Yeah, that's
the second inning.
More impressive. Like, y'all better have been hitting for him to have 3 at bats.
Yeah. So they've been rolling through. They had a couple close games. They had a close game with think with Korea. But Korea also is 2-2, and they moved on. So you have Japan and Korea moving on. And then in Pool D, some great baseball being played there. You've got Venezuela and the DR also playing right now as we're recording this. They're both 3-0 heading into that game. I got Pedro Martinez, great DR player, Red Sox player, over my shoulder here representing them. I love watching the DR play.
You've said that. It's beautiful baseball.
It's beautiful baseball, and just the joy that they play with. I love watching those guys play. They have a great team, an unbelievable lineup. And so I would still say, assuming U.S. squeaks through, I mean, I think the DR, Japan, U.S., those would be my favorites, but obviously the U.S. has to get through. So DR, Venezuela, whoever wins that tonight wins the pool. Both of those are going through. So whoever loses is not out. They would just be the runner-up in that pool. So for sure those guys are going on. For sure Japan and Korea are going on. For sure Canada and Puerto Rico are going on. The only one we don't know at this moment is who's coming out of Pool B.
Pool B,
Yeah.
which is so ironically us.
It is. It's the U.S. So I hope you guys are watching it. If you're not, and then you've been bored for these last 10 minutes. If you haven't, I would jump on, man, because you got a few more games left. You get to the semis. You're going to see some really good baseball. It's so much fun. I said this the last episode, but getting to watch just high-end competitive baseball when these guys are, normally in the spring training, it's just kind of, there's nothing competitive. The juices are flowing early, and I do think it could help. As long as you don't get hurt, it could really help you as you head into the regular season, because you've already. I mean, you're ready to roll, because these games will get you into playoff mode. Yeah, right off the bat. So, speaking of that, we're going to show a couple of plays here before we transition, just because one of the players that we talked about that you picked him for your AL MVP, and we read about him as being the key person for the U.S. to perform, and I believe he's done well. He's been batting leadoff. Bobby Witt Jr., who we're talking about.
Yes.
He's been playing well he's hitting well, but he made two
incredible plays.
Two incredible plays at short that we want to show, and then. For the DR, Manny Machado made two. So Bobby Witt's were both in the same inning, and Machado's were back-to-back plays. And so both of them great. One at third, the other at short. But we want to show these if you haven't seen them, but even if you have, they're worth rewatching. So we're gonna watch these videos, watch them along with us. First, we're gonna start with Bobby Witt's plays. So let me get this queued up here.
Away with Kirk at the plate.
All right, so
this is our live reaction.
And he cracks one, diving stop.
We got Kirk at the plate.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt. I mean, the way just laying out like that, but then also the ball takes that little bit of a hop. Watch if you can see. I don't know if they showed Paul Skeen's reaction on this one, but one highlight, Paul Skeen just kind of looked back at him and smiled like that was unbelievable. Watch this. Boom. Boom. So two things. One, the physical ability to make this play. Look at that, the way that ball takes that hop. But I think this also shows the mental IQ. Look, here's Paul Skeen's reaction.
Mark DeRosa told us that his one regret from the 2023 World Baseball Classic was that he didn't find a way to get Bobby Witt on the field.
The mental IQ to know that who was at the plate. Kirk is not one of the fastest guys, and he knew he had time to get him. And then here's the other play. This guy is faster, laid out, got to his feet. It's also a nice stretch by Bryce Harper. Just two great plays, man.
What's more impressive to me is how he's not even celebrating. He's just walking off.
They're going to challenge this one.
He knows he's good.
Harper might have come off the bag.
He's the man. Watch it again.
Goodness.
I need to learn how to pop up that quick.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not.
Boom. Great stretch by Bryce.
It's two plays that you might see in a
unbelievable play. I mean, it was just. Those were some awesome plays. Again, the atmosphere for that U.S.-Mexico game is always fun. And those were two unbelievable plays. And I would say probably the plays of the tournament, except for these plays by Manny Machado. The first one by Bobby Witt, again, the ball bouncing, him reacting while he's laying out, incredible. But then watch these.
Ground ball, Machado, backhand. Few make that play.
Look at Vlad's reaction.
Vlad is
This is why I love watching the DR. I mean, just again, the joy that they play with. Look at that. Now the next one though is even.
This is what he does. A little flick of the wrist.
You can tell they're living.
Just loves it.
Like there's no
You've seen him do it for a long time. Former
Now watch this one.
shortstop, now
Down the
third
line, across his body. Oh, it's so great.
Tip in his cap.
Oh, man. He's been doing it for a long time. You think the first one was a good one?
It's just unbelievable. Great plays. Manny Machado, the Minister of Defense, I think is what they call him.
Picture perfect. Fans are loving it. Everybody's loving it.
And then watch him dapping it up with the crowd. Just awesome. Two great plays, and again, the atmosphere for the Classic so far has been really good. So hope you guys are enjoying it, and we'll continue to monitor it, and we'll continue to bring up some highlights, and we'll see what happens between now and next week. But by the time we record next week, it will be over, and so we'll know who won. That's how quick it happens. It starts and it's over in the blink of an eye. But we'll know what happened. We'll know who won. We'll have some more highlights, and then we can look forward to the Major League season, which starts like 10 days after that, something like that. So, all right, there we go. Now you want to get into some 1 Samuel?
Let's do that.
We've covered the first 15 chapters of 1 Samuel. We've talked about Samuel being born and being dedicated and growing up and becoming priest, and we've talked about him anointing Saul and Saul becoming king, and then we talked about last episode Saul making a mistake, not honoring the Lord, and the Lord saying that he's going to find someone after his own heart, and the kingdom basically will be taken away from him. And so we've had some key characters introduced: Saul, Samuel, Hannah. Now we're going to have
another one,
a couple more introduced, and really, again, the man that inspired this, and one of the more iconic, famous people in the Bible. We're going to read through your story when you were a little kid, 2, 3 years old.
This was my
We wanted to read this every night before bed. So, so we're going to read. We're going to cover tonight 16 through 23, and we're going to do like we've been doing. So we're just going to bounce around, and not like we can get too deep into every chapter. So I'd encourage you to be reading yourself, and but we're gonna have a little time to discuss a little bit more of it. What do you want to say?
Nothing. No.
Oh, looked like you were gonna give some advice.
No.
All right. So you have. Let's just go ahead and start with chapter 16. And what was the verse that you had for chapter 16?
I have chapter 16, verse, what I can only assume is 7.
It is 7.
Yeah. I covered it up with my pen mark. But 7. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart."
Yes. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And so again, in this one, this is where Samuel brings the family together, David's family, looks through all the boys, and his dad, Jesse, brings all the other brothers and says, no, these aren't the guys. And anyway, they bring in David, and much to everyone's surprise, including his family members, David is the one selected and is anointed by Samuel. And then in the end of chapter 16, David is actually introduced to Saul for the first time. He's brought in This is where Saul is dealing with
His issues.
His issues is the nice way to put it. His he's tormented by spirits and dealing with mental stress, mental illness, a lot going on there.
Very sad outcome.
Yeah, and so David's brought in to kind of ease his pain with playing the harp. Yeah,
Yes.
plays some songs and helps him out. So that's the first time he's really
This is my harp, apparently.
introduced to David. All right, and then we get into chapter 17, one of the most famous chapters in the Bible. Chapters that are worn out from reading it to Riker. So, but if you want to read, what verses did we say we were going to read in?
I think I have 45.
45? Yeah, 45 through 47. Go ahead and read those verses.
David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear. You come against me with sword and spear and javelin. But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the Lord of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the
carcass, your body.
Oh wow, the carcass of the Philistine army to the birds. Wow. Okay, and wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that there is not will know. I lost
that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands.
Thank you for helping.
There you go. All right.
All right.
And that is a key section there as David.
The carcass depiction was a little.
Yeah. Well, we know what happens next. He does just that, and he kills Goliath. So, okay, now we'll get into chapter 18, and we're going to skim through a couple parts here. I'm going to read just verse 1, just because it's talking about David's relationship with Jonathan, where Jonathan is Saul's son, and they just become like brothers, basically. And verse 1 just says, after David had finished talking with Saul, Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. And again, they become like brothers. But then if you'll read, I think you had 8 and 9, Riker, in that same chapter, if you can read those.
Indeed. Saul was very angry. This refrain displeased him greatly. They have credited David with tens of thousands, he thought, but me with only thousands. What more can he get but the kingdom? And from that time on, Saul kept a close eye on David.
So, jealousy, right?
Jealousy and
in the verse before, at the end of verse 7, basically it's some women coming home and they're singing that song. Saul had slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. So they were singing that song in celebration.
That's a song?
Well, they were singing that in celebration. If you look up at the end of verse 7.
That's how you annoy your king.
Well, yeah, and it did. It made him very jealous of David, which leads to him trying to kill him on multiple occasions. And I'm going to read just a few verses here. We've been reading one, but go through and read these. We didn't read all of David and Goliath because you guys have, everybody's probably heard that. But I just want to read this part. This is Saul when he's trying to kill David in chapter 19. I'm just going to read a few verses here, but starting in verse 1, Saul told his son Jonathan and all of the attendants to kill David. But Jonathan had taken a great liking to David and warned him. My father Saul, he warned David, my father Saul is looking for a chance to kill you. Be on your guard tomorrow morning, go into hiding and stay there. I will go out and stand with my father in the field where you are. I'll speak to him about you and will tell you what I find out. Jonathan spoke well of David to Saul his father and said to him, let not the king do wrong to his servant David. He has not wronged you, and what he has done has benefited you greatly. He took his life in his hands when he killed the Philistine. The Lord won a great victory for all Israel, and you saw it and were glad. Why then would you do wrong to an innocent man like David by killing him for no reason? Saul listened to Jonathan and took this oath: as surely as the Lord lives, David will not be put to death. And he meant that at the moment. Again, later on, he deals with the evil spirits again, and he tries to kill him, which puts David kind of on the run, and he's running for his life. Let me look at go to chapter 20. I don't think we had a verse in there that we're going to read. Just, again, David and Jonathan's friendship is described there in chapter 20. Their relationship is super strong, and David is on the run. What do you have in 21, Riker?
I have a verse in 20.
You have a verse in 20? What do you have?
Yeah, I have 42.
Okay.
Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace, for we have sworn friendship with each other in the name of the Lord, saying, 'The Lord is witness between you and me, and between your descendants and my descendants forever.' Then David left, and Jonathan went back to the town."
Okay.
So again, showing their friendship.
Okay, so then in 21, again, David begins his life as a fugitive and running for his life, hiding for his life. Goes to Ahimelech. He, at one point in here, he pretends to save his life. He actually pretends to be insane.
Whoa, what?
And I mean, he had to do some crazy things, and he had to hide and do some things there just to try to save his life. But through all of that, even in those difficult seasons, the Lord protected him, and the Lord shielded him, and the Lord, it's one of those, even acting, he just had the wherewithal, to know how to protect himself and get himself from situation to situation. So he's on the run. Chapter 22, he's still on the run, and Saul basically. What did I give you in 22? Did I give you anything?
Verse 2.
Verse 2. You go ahead and read that.
All those who were in distress or in debt or discontented gathered around him, and he became their commander. About 400 men were with him.
Yeah, they had just come out of the cave there in Adullam, and but then Saul kills the priest. I think it was 85 priests of Nob there in a brutal, really revenge toward David. And again, just signs of Saul losing his mind, real. And a very, very sad story there in chapter 22. And then chapter 23, again, Saul is pursuing David and
continues to fail.
Yeah. Do you have what do you have? Do you have 14?
For 23?
Yeah. Or do I have 14?
14. I do not have 14.
Okay,
You
I've
have
got
14.
it. I'll read it. So again, Saul's pursuing David, and David stayed in the wilderness. Verse 14, David stayed in the wilderness strongholds and in the hills of the desert of Ziph day after day. Saul searched for him, but God did not give David into his hands. So you've got the king looking for you. That's never a place you want to be.
Nope.
Usually means certain death. But the Lord, because he had anointed David and David was honoring him, the Lord was protecting him, and he had a plan for him, obviously, and was helping him get through. But it didn't mean that David was on easy street either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was running for his life like a fugitive, a man on the run. There'd be times where you'd be like, I don't really want this crown. It ain't worth all this.
Yeah,
Let me just go back to being a shepherd, But again, the Lord saw him through it, and that's where we'll stop for now, because we're going to get into, when we get into 24, then there's moments where David, spared Saul's life, and we'll get into some of that. We'll wrap up 1 Samuel on the next episode, but some key verses there that we read, 16:7. Again, God looks at the heart. 17:45. We're discussing faith when you're dealing with giants. Key takeaways. We've talked about this. God looks at the heart. Faith in God overcomes giants. Jealousy destroys leaders. When we talk about Saul and how it ate him up, really, his jealousy for David. True friendship is loyal. David's friendship with Jonathan is one of the strongest friendships in the Bible. Jonathan protects David. He warns him about Saul, encourages him to trust God. This is a good takeaway. True friends support God's plan even when it costs them personally. Another takeaway, God protects his people. Again, we talked about this. Even while he was running for his life, David is protected by God. God's protection doesn't mean life is easy, but he's always guiding and guarding his purpose. God prepares leaders through hard times. Hard lesson to learn, but it's a great lesson.
Great lesson.
And this is a great example of it. But this time of running and hiding, it built humility, developed leadership in David, and strengthens his trust in God, because he knows that even in the darkest situations,
God's with him.
God's got his back, right?
Yeah.
And then last takeaway, seeking God's guidance matters. In chapter 23, we didn't read that part of it, but David is continually asking God what to do before making decisions. So, again, just a wise person, wise leader is always going to be seeking counsel for every decision. We should all be seeking God's counsel for every decision that we make, right?
Right.
So those are some key takeaways. Again, we just kind of ran through that
Absolutely.
as efficiently as we could. And again, we didn't cover everything, but go back and do it. And then just read 23 or 24 through 31 with us this week, and we'll come back on the next episode and we'll break those down too.
So
But
we will.
great. Just obviously David is there's just so much about him that is just fascinating to read, in his life and Saul's life, just the highs and lows of that, and
Saul was high, low.
well,
low,
and then
low,
just the fact, their relationships, the way they all weave together, him and Jonathan being best friends, it's just an amazing story. And again, just a lot of things that you can pull out of there to, like we just did, when we talk about trusting the Lord and seeking his counsel and all those kind of things. So, and being a man after God's own heart, right?
Yeah.
So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it's not too fast, but
Two things I do want to say.
Yeah.
I heard this in a song. I don't remember what it was, but it was referring to David Goliath, but it was, I may not face Goliath, but I have my own giants.
yeah,
And
same God. That's by
yeah.
Elevation, I think.
I thought it was, maybe it is.
I don't know. It's a great song though. Same
Great
God.
song.
Yeah.
And that lyric really just stood out to me, because it's
Mhm.
like, we all have our own problems.
100%.
So that, and then also number 2 is, I would like to apologize for my reading.
No apologies necessary. You're doing great. All right. So, any other takeaways or any other things?
No.
Okay.
That's what you got from me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's pray and go home and cheer on Italy.
USA? Oh, wait. Yeah.
Italy or Mexico to win big. One or the other. I don't care. Let's go cheer them on. All right, let's pray.
Lord, thank you for this day. Lord, I just pray that somebody, by watching this video, would just know that they are not alone and that you are with them no matter what's going on in their lives, Lord. Just like David was a fugitive, but you were there for him. So no matter what this person is going through, I want them to know that you are with them, Lord. I pray that they would be comforted by that. I just pray that everybody out there would have a good day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. See you guys on the next one.
See ya.